Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are going to see about the IoT applications as well as what are all the challenges which are there when we'll be using such things. So till now we'll be dealing with the sensors and also the actuators, then how sensors as well as actuators which is connected with the network and how the networks will be, all such things we learned, right? So here we are going to see about the applications based on the domains. Okay, so the domains in which it will be ranging will be home automation, smart cities, environment, energy systems, retails, then logistics, industry, agriculture, as well as health. Okay. So when we'll be checking with the home automation, as you know, this is the map which we can, roadmap which we can give for based on the applications which is there. Okay. And here, when we'll be checking with the home automation, we'll be speaking about the home lighting which is there. Okay. Yes. Home, that is smart lighting which is there. Normally, when we'll be checking with the smart lighting, what will be happening? We'll be using some bulbs, right? So now even we'll be getting from the online itself, right? So from the online we can purchase such bulbs, and when we'll be fitting in that itself the sensor module is fitted, and when there is motion sensor is the one which is enabled in that. So when we'll be crossing by, the motion is getting detected and it will be automatically sensing and it will be glowing. Okay, if there is no movement it will be in sleep mode, it won't be switching on. That is one case where the power consumption is getting reduced. And other cases, if suppose when we'll be fitting, when we need the thing which is done by using mobile app, that is the description which is given in the picture. So when we'll be having the smart light bulb, it need to get connected with the hub by use of, with means of Bluetooth or something else, Zigbee. Then from which we'll be connecting with the cloud storage. And the other cases, the smartphone, where we'll be connecting that with the that is the Wi-Fi, it, or else with the app. From the app we can control the thing and we can make it to glow. Okay, that is one way. And the another way is when we need to switch on the bulb for a certain time period, or else it need to do automatically. So when it need to happen, when we'll be switching on as well as off, when we are in a remote places, for which we need to code the bulb module in such a way that that is when it is on, when we will be making on, it need to get on. When it is off, it need to get off. So in such a way, we need to connect that particular module with our Wi-Fi. And with the help of the Wi-Fi, when our phone is also connected with Wi-Fi. So from the app which we'll be demonstrating, accordingly, it will be made on as well as off according to the instruction which we'll be providing. Next comes the smart appliances. Okay. So in the case of smart appliances, we'll be using that with refrigerator. So with the help of the refrigerator, based on the that is the option which we'll be providing from our mobile, even we can control it, right? So based on that, the things will be notified to the user. And also it will be when we'll be giving, like, or else when we'll be analyzing, it will be giving the list of item, and if it is less in amount, it will be notified to the user. So these are all some of the uses where we'll be making use of it when we'll be having the smart refrigerator. And the other one is we'll be having the dar mudichu 350. So we'll be having the smart appliances like TV, refrigerators, then music systems, then washing machines. So in all such means, we'll be having as many number of sensors which is fitted to it, and with the help of internet, we'll be communicating with them. Okay. And the other one which is there when we'll be using the home automation is intrusion detection. Okay, with the help of surveillance camera, we'll be fitting to it, and the surveillance camera will be taking into account all the details, and it will be provided with full HD high dimension pictures will be captured. Then memory card is there, then alarm process is there, then it will be having the tilting options. Then mobile device can be integrated with it. So from mobile even we can control it and monitor. And waterproofing option is also there. So it, even in rain or whatever weather condition, it will be tackling it. Then the motion detector sensor is there. So when any movement happens, it automatically that is detecting and producing some alarm when it is prohibited. And the day and night option, that is also there. So in day or in night even, it will be moving to night mode, and based on which to the clarity images can also be obtained. And Wi-Fi facilities there. Next is the smoke as well as gas detection. Okay, the smoke detectors which are involved or installed in that particular home, it can detect the smoke as well as it can alert the users. For example, when we'll be fitting the gas sensors in a home, it will be normally identifying whether there is any leakage in the gas which we'll be using, LPG gases and all, and based on which it will be producing some alarms as well. It can send some email messages as well as it can send voice messages or SMS, whatever it is expected to do. Okay. Next comes the smart cities. Okay. So in the case of the smart cities, that is another one, right? Yes. Next is the smart cities. So in the case of the smart cities, we'll be using first, we'll be having the smart parking facility. So normally how we'll be parking, wherever there is any space which is there, then we'll be parking our vehicles there. As in the same way here too, we'll be parking the vehicles where here and there we'll be checking for, that is, for example, here in Chennai Silks even, we can see that smart parking facility, right? So when there is no space in the lower mode, the things, that is the vehicles will be uplifted with the help of the sensors. It will be identifying the lots and it will be parking accordingly, and it will be waiting for the other places to be filled. This is how the parking facility, smart parking facility is available. And the next is smart lighting options. So in the case of the smart lighting options, there too, in roads, in parks, in buildings, we can't switch on every light or fan and the things. So in such cases, what we'll be doing is we'll be just notifying. It will be taking the condition which is there. Either if it is dark, in dark times, it will be automatically sensing the with the help of the light sensor, and it will be automatically doing all the measurements which is mentioned for them, and it will be making the things done. So that is about the uh, smart lighting option which is carried out. Next comes the smart roads. So in the case of the smart roads, automatically when we will be having the smart roads, the person or else the behavior of the driver, that will be analyzed, and it will be automatically sending those particular features to it, and it will be analyzing as how. Okay, this is how it will be done. And the next thing will be structural health monitoring. So, in the case of the structural health monitoring, it will be monitoring the structures which are there, the buildings which are there, and it will be analyzing what is the strength of the building, whether there is any damage which is there, whether there is any crack which can be detected. If so, they will be locating such damages and they will be curing it with the help of some calculations which is made, and it will be predicting till what time it can prevail and how it is. And next comes the surveillance camera. So that we saw earlier, here too we'll be using that with that in the field of infrastructure or else in public transport as well as events which are there in cities. So in all such ways we will be having, and when it is fitted, it can that is make us away in throughout the people who are there, and the coverage which is maintained by, and also the it will be ensuring the safety as well as security of the people, and that can also be done. So when we'll be here, even we'll be seeing the cameras in main areas, main cities. So in that cities, they it will be taking a coverage within the coverage area. Whatever things which is happening, it will be notified, and later it can be stored in the drive also, wherever the storage area is. And based on the that is collected data, if anything happens, then we can have see the backup, and from which we can make the things possible. Okay, so video analytics application is also there. So it will be checking about specific patterns, and based on which the correction feeds will be given. And this is the image based on the surveillance. So this is the camera in which we'll be fitting. And from the camera, it will be moving to the cloud storage, and from which the backups will be maintained. And also, if any issues, then we'll be taking from there and we'll be making use of it. So this is about the home automation as well as smart cities. Next comes the environment, energy, as well as retail. So, in the case of environment, energy, and retail, we'll be first learning about the environment. So, in the case of the environment, it will be mainly applied in the area of uh, weather monitoring. Okay. So, in the case of weather monitoring, it will be monitoring how the weather condition is, and the sensors, as many sensors are integrated with it, and with the help of the sensors, it will be identifying whether there is any climatic changes which has happened, and based on which the preventive measures will be taken, and it is also gathering the data based on the different sensors in that team, and the data which is there, that will be sent to the cloud-based storage. And if suppose any unusual things happen, then it will be automatically visualizing it, and it will be mm, giving an alert to the subscribed users from the thing. That is about the weather monitoring which is happening. So AirPi is there. It is a weather as well as air quality monitoring, where it will be updating as well as recording the information about the temperature, humidity, air pressure, light levels, UV levels, all such things, and it will be storing that to the uh, storage devices through internet. And next comes the air pollution monitoring. So in the case of the air pollution monitoring, the IoT-based air pollution monitoring systems, which will be monitoring the harmful gas emissions which are there by the factories as well as vehicles, using the gaseous as well as meteorological sensor. And the collected data which is there, that will be analyzed, and if suppose any pollution is happening, then it will be intimating that with the things. For example, they have told to reduce the there is the carbon emissions which are happening from the fuels, right? So for which, if they will be making that to practice, they will be fitting some sensors as like the pollution sensors which are there, and based on which it will be identifying from which vehicle the particular emission is happening, and they'll be giving the, or else they'll be informing that with the higher officials, and the higher officials will be taking actions or to against that particular vehicle owner, and that's how it will be implemented. And next comes the noise pollution. So in the case of the noise pollution, we'll be using a number of noise pollution monitoring systems that can be deployed in many places which are there in the cities. And the noise levels from each and every stations which is collected on the servers or in the cloud, whatever it is affordable, and the collected data which is there, that can be generated and analyzed based on the noise maps which they'll be having. And the next will be the forest fire detection. So normally when there is the forest is usually used for it is a resource, right? Where we need to preserve it. When we are preserving it, we'll be getting as much of benefits, but we people are not involving in such activities. So to avoid it, we need to go with the preserving the things. So for which we'll be having deploying as many number of nodes in the fire in the forest places, where it will be detecting and it will be providing the location when there occurs some fire, and based on which some it will be monitoring, collecting the information and providing some ambient amount of informations. Mm. And if suppose any fire happens, the nearby people who are located there will be alerted with some signals or else some means of messages. Next comes the river flood detection. So nowadays, even there happened the flood, right? So without intimation, if it is coming, then we can't overcome such things. So for which we can identify the water levels. So when the water level is getting a sudden increase, then we can identify there might be some damage which is going to cause. To so prevent it, we can have that water flow sensors. So if the sensors is having some rapid increase in the water level, then automatically it will be identifying, detecting the thing, and it can be announced or else an alert message can be sent to the nearby people who might be getting affected with when it is producing some damage. Okay. Um, okay. And next comes the next main division is energy. So in the case of energy, we'll be having the smart grids. So smart grid is a data communication network integrated with the electrical grids. So smart grid technology, which will be providing the predictive information and recommendations to utilities, their suppliers as well as their consumers, and how best they can manage the power. And smart meters can capture they'll be using the smart meters. Okay, the smart meters which is there, that can capture the real time power consumption and allowing to manage the power even if they'll be in a remote place. So the power distribution is there that can be evenly distributed to everyone when they are in remote places. Next comes the renewable energy systems. So there are two main renewable energies, wind as well as solar. So uh, renewable energy sources which will be providing or producing variable output. So the variable output which produces the local voltage swings which is there, which can impact the quality of the power. So the IoT based systems which are integrated to it, got it. Mm. Okay, ma'am. So, uh, so what is the thing? So in the case of the energy systems, we'll be ensuring that the grid stability is there. Okay. So we'll be having the, yes, we'll be feeding everything. When we'll be having the IoT systems, based systems, which is integrated with the transformer, it will be taking into account and measuring the electrical variables as well as how much power it is feeding into the grid. So based on which the power stability, the grid stability is there, and it will be providing such measures. And the next thing is prognostics. So in the case of the prognostics, the energy systems which will be having large number of critical components which are there, okay, whose health is essential for working the or else functioning it properly. So for which we'll be having the IoT monitoring systems which will be allowing the data which can be gathered about such critical components, and the analysis will be done based on the data which we will be gathering based on the sensors. So that prediction will be considered for maintaining and also preventing from the failures which is happening. So for which we'll be using the power grids, real-time information which will be gathered, and it will be produced so that the failures which might be happening that can be avoided when we'll be having predictive maintenance as well as survival will be there.
Ma'am,
Yes,
for this prognostics to work, should the device should have been connected to internet or what, ma'am?
yes, ma. It need to get connected with internet.
Okay, ma'am.
Then only the IoT systems will work.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Mama. Uh, So this is all about the energy case. Okay. Next comes the retail. So in the case of the retail, we'll be having three things here also. Inventory management will be there, smart payments will be there, then smart vending machines will be there. So in the case of the inventory management, we'll be having the RFID tags, which is there, and the RFID tags which are there, which will be attached, it will be having that is, it will be tracking the information, and based on tracking the information, it will be identifying how much stock is there in the company and how much need to be. If there is low stock, it will be intimated to us through some means of messages or else through SMS. Okay, this is about the inventory management. The next comes the smart payments. As you know, nowadays we'll be making some smart payments with the help of the QR code. Then with the help of NFCs, we can do it. Then what else? With the help of Bluetooth, when we'll be combining, we'll be connecting with the things, and there even we'll be doing it. All such things are the advanced technologies which we might be using for making the payments done possible, and also in a positive manner. And next comes the smart vending machines. So in the case of the smart vending machines, it will be also connected to the internet, which will be allowing us to work in a remote way. And that is the pricing of the product. Then contactless payments can be done through the NFCs, near field communications and all. And also we can consumer who is there who can insert the money which is there in the vending machines. That's how we self will be having the vending machine in the front, so we'll be fitting, that is inserting the money, and we'll be getting them. So for which they'll be producing some images itself, so that we can view it, and also if the quantity is less, we can identify and we can replace it with the help of the owner. All such things can be done when we'll be using the uh, that is the vending machines which is there. So these are all working in a smarter way than what is the normal machines. Okay. So this is all about the retail which will be. Okay. So the next class I can continue with the other. So now answer attendance.